Chiefs, Jaguars, Monday night. Chiefs laying 3.5. Here we go. Best bets. Click that like, hit subscribe. Break the Board Sports, where we give you info to help you become a better handicapper. You can go to our site if you want our picks, breaktheboardsports.com, $1.37 a day. But this is more about giving you trends and whatnot to help you be a better handicapper. So let's get into it. Tonight, Chiefs laying 3.5. Your over-under is 45.5. Right now, 71% of tickets and 63% of bets going to the Kansas City Chiefs. 29% of tickets and 37% of the handle going to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now that over under 45.5, 71% of bets and 73% of the handle to the over. So a lot of love on that over 45.5. To the under, 29% of bets and 27% of the handle. Obviously, there's a lot of firepower going on for the Jaguars. You got Travis Hunter, you got Brian Edwards, you got Travis Etienne. Look over on the Chiefs side. We think Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, a lot of points being scored, but the Chiefs have had to switch. They play much more of a lower scoring type game, running the ball right with Hunt and Pacheco. Now, they do have Xavier Worthy back to help stretch the field. So we'll see how that works. The Chiefs, I don't like the hook. I like the Chiefs to win the game, but I'm not excited about laying 3.5 and not going to, quite honestly. I had the Chiefs in some money line parlays hanging over from yesterday. Yesterday, our team was able to have some big wins. We had the Titans plus 8.5. They won outright. We had the Saints on the money line. That one came through and cashed for us. We had some teasers with the Patriots, Cowboys. All of our teasers hit. So a really good day. We had the Washington Redskins plus 3. They went outright. So nice bounce back from Saturday. That was a little rough there. Florida State kicking that field goal. What was going on there? But I like the Chiefs on the money line here if you can find some to parlay them with. I also think there's value in the 7-point teaser under 52.5 and Jaguars plus 10.5. I think you can get some great value as far as that goes. Now, these two teams, Chiefs come in 2-2. Jags 3-1, and their record ATS is the same. Chiefs 2-2, Jaguars 3-1. Head to head on this one, as far as some trends to help you pick out, give you a couple things. Jaguars at home 6-4 ATS over their last 10. If you've been following that, you're up 2.77 units, about a 25% return on your investment. A good one for the Jags is their team total over, right? Team total over at home, 8-2 their last 10 games. You'd be up 5.85 units, about a 48% return on your investment. Right now, the Jags are getting plus 2.5 for the first half. First half spreads have been very good to them at home as well. 7 out of the last 10 games at home, the Jaguars have covered that first half spread. That would put you up 3.6 units, about a 31% return on your investment. And you say, hey, what if I want some plus money, RJ? I got it for you. Jaguars plus $1.30 for the first half. They've hit the first half money line 7 of their last 10 at home, put you up 3.6 units, 23% return on your investment. Maybe there's some there. You have the Jaguars money line first half with the Chiefs money line for the game. We know how Mahomes towards the end of these games ends up coming alive. Now, for the Chiefs, third and fourth quarters have not been very good to them, but also second half, we talked about maybe second half to win the game. Let's say it's tied and the Chiefs are laying 3.5 for the second half. Want to be careful because second half spread, they are 8-11 ATS, not very good, as Coach Spurrier used to say. That puts you down 4.78 units, about 22% return on your investment. Now, over the last 18 games, the Chiefs have not been treating you well at the window if you're tracking them against the spread. 6-12 ATS over their last 18 games. However, straight up, and this is why I like money line, I can't lay $1.85, so I'm going to have to get creative and find a couple different things to do. I'll end up having this game both ways. Definitely have the Jags. I got them held over from last night, plus 10.5 with the Patriots, plus 14.5. That already cashed on that end. But Chiefs 15-5 straight up their last 20, but 6-12 ATS their last 18. But against the Jags, 8 straight wins for the Kansas City Chiefs over the Jaguars. I think that continues. I think the Chiefs get going here. Jags, though they're 3-1, really haven't played anybody good other than San Francisco. But that San Francisco was a shell of themselves, really beat up. 4-1 ATS over the last 5 games against the Jaguars. On the road, the Chiefs have been very, very good. 12-4 straight up on the road. And that 4-1 ATS the last 5 for the Jags. They're also 4-1 ATS the last 5 in Jacksonville. 17-3 straight up their last 20 versus AFC opponents. So again, just backing more how much I like that Chiefs money line. Got to find some different ways to use that. Jacksonville, again, they ended last year okay. Off to a nice start this year. They're 5-1 ATS their last 6 overall. The under has cashed 5 of the last 6 games at home. And the under between these two teams in their last 7 matchups, the under is cashed 6 times. Remember, I told you about that 45.5. Everybody's on the over. Books are going to need the under. Now, you can't always bet this way, but just to put it in perspective for you, Saturday, the 2 most needs for the books needed Florida and they needed UCLA. Well, guess what happened? Florida beat Texas outright. UCLA upset Penn State outright. Same thing, travel over to the NFL. Not as much the same. The Cincinnati Bengals were obviously a need, and the Lions killed that. So the books didn't fare as well on Sunday, but fared very well on Saturday. You can't always go against the public, but again, if you're just getting into this, you're going to be able to clip off about 70% just following the books. Books are going to need the under. Again, a lot of people will say, I only like 6-point teasers, or I don't like teasers because of juice. I do 7 points. I want the touchdown plus the extra point. Look how many field goal and extra point debacles there have been this year. I like that extra, and it might be $1.40, but you're getting a whole 7 points minus $1.40. Sorry, they've worked out fantastic for me. You could probably go both ways with the under. You could take under 52.5 and Jaguars plus 10.5. You could take under 52.5 and you could slide that line to Chiefs plus 3.5. I think you're going to be good both ways. Jacksonville, we talked about 1-5 ATS the last 6 against the Chiefs, but 5-13 straight up against AFC opponents. So the Jaguars have really been able to feast off those NFC teams. Again, player props that you want to get into tonight, looking at Pat Mahomes for his player props tonight. Passing yards. Hold on just a sec. Touchdown scores. Let's go there first. Anytime touchdown, Travis Etienne plus 125. Xavier Worthy plus $1.50. If you're looking for first touchdown of the game, Brian Thomas Jr., 9-1 for the Jags. He's plus 165 for an anytime touchdown. Kareem Hunt, 14-1 for the first touchdown. Chiefs get the ball. Again, Chiefs are going to keep the ball on the ground a whole lot more than usual. Pacheco, 14-1. So a lot of different ways you can use that there. Travis Hunter, anytime touchdown, 3.5-1. Pat Mahomes, if you think he can run one in, 4-1 or 19-1 for your first touchdown score of the game tonight. Passing props, again, we were talking about those passing yards. Pat Mahomes over under 250.5. Trevor Lawrence over under 219.5. I expect that Chiefs defense to be really stout tonight. I would actually lean Mahomes under again. I think the Chiefs are really going to try to keep the ball on the ground here. Passing TDs, if you want to take Trevor Lawrence under 1.5, you got to lay some heavy juice, minus $1.54. If you think Trevor Lawrence is going to ball out, over 1.5 plus $1.16. Over 1.5 for Pat Mahomes, minus 154. Again, the kicker props is some that were very profitable the first couple of weeks. Books are starting to try to slide away from those a little bit. So not a huge fan of that. Rushing yards. Isaiah Pacheco over 28.5, minus $1.15 at FanDuel. I would use that in some places. I think Pacheco has a very good game tonight. Trevor Lawrence over 10.5 rushing yards for the game. Something, you think Chiefs are going to put a lot of pressure on him. The only thing that I fear there is I think they're going to be able to get heat on Trevor Lawrence. So the sacks would be the only part that worried me there that you would have to think about. Travis Etienne, total yards, receiving and rushing over 80.5 there. The good thing, there's some places like FanDuel and DraftKings let you do some alt totals. But again, we're going to lean Chiefs money line. I love the teaser. Chiefs in the under, teaser, Jaguars in the under. Again, we're coming off of a great NFL Sunday. Click that like, hit subscribe. We're here 2 to 3 pieces of content every day. We have an MLB show, an NHL show, an NFL show. Throughout the week, college football, all the biggest games, be giving you stuff and content to help you become a better handicapper. This is straight stats, trends, not a bunch of talking about opinions, just straight facts and where the market's moving. BreakTheBoardSports.com. Check it out. I'm your host, RJ. Click that like, hit subscribe. God bless and happy handicapping.